And I'm going to try to wait till some people come in. It says something about rotating device.
This one.
I think it's coming on. It's yellow.
This one is saying it.
There it
it's
is.
yellow.
Now it's got colors.
Yeah, it was coming in. It was a yellow one. Can you guys hear me out there in Facebook world?
And
I see some numbers coming up. Hello? All right, we're gonna wait till some more people join us, and then we're gonna get started. And I think, Tia, maybe the light need to come my way a little bit.
this one.
If you come behind me.
This one right here.
Yeah, probably. So, just waiting for more people to join us.
There it went.
Okay. And so I see we have 9 people right now. And for those that's already on, if you could click like and share so we can get as many people on here as possible so that we can get started with what we got planned for today. Turn mine down. Okay. Now the camera is far back today, guys, so I can't really see all of the comments. I'm going to try to see as many as I can from my phone, but since the camera is so far back, I can't actually read it directly from the screen. So I am going to shut my phone notifications off because, you know, people always call me when I start. And just give us a few more minutes for people to come on. Okay. So I first want to start by saying that I had something else planned to wear. And hey, to everybody out there that's chiming in, thank you guys for joining me for our New Year first episode of On the Couch with Dr. Marilyn. And today we have a special guest, but I was saying I had something else planned to wear, but in recognition and in support of one of my friends in one of my business groups named Tamara, I put on my suicide shirt, suicide prevention, because her son passed away on Sunday. He took his own life, and it was on his 29th birthday, and that was on January 1st. And so she's been really grieving, and so if you guys can send her some love, I'd appreciate it. And one of the episodes that we have will be on suicide prevention and awareness. And so at this time, I would like to say, Tamara, we are with you. We are praying for you. And I know this is difficult for you. And if you need anything, please reach out. And with that being said, I have a special guest with me today. And this is Miss Diana Schalow. You can say hello.
Hello, everybody.
And she is the mother of Angela Russo. And she's one of my clients that lost Angela to online dating. And so she's joined me today so we can talk about and discuss some of the dangers of online dating. So before we get started, I would like to light a candle for Kerry James Hill, the young man I was speaking of that took his life. And I would like for Diana to also light a candle for Angela. So I put it up front. So this one is in honor of Kerry. It's always a lighter that don't want to act right when we're trying to do something.
Let me know if you need me to go get a lighter.
I hear it. You want to try it?
I'll try it.
It sounds like it might be gone. If that's the case, I have to get another one. Oh, maybe it's just me. Players mess up too. Hey. Okay.
There you go.
It is. I had to put a little in it. Okay. So, again, that's for Carrie James Hill and for Angela Russo. So, before we did this episode, or before I decided to do this, I kind of had Angela on my mind. And the last time I went to Sedona for my photo shoot and we were there, I just felt like either she was present, she was near, she was by me, and then I saw a ladybug. And I couldn't believe I saw a ladybug because the ladybug is her favorite thing. And her mom calls her Bug. And so I told Tessa, when I looked at the ladybug, I just said Angela. So I felt what better way to honor her or let her know that her memory hasn't died than to have her mom to come and share their ordeal and what transpired during the time that Angela went missing and then found out that she was no longer alive. And this case is very close to me because I was the person to be there for them. They reached out to me. How? I don't know. I guess it was a divine intervention. She called and asked, was I available to see them? And I said yes. And we have been inseparable ever since. So this has been 5 years ago. And so as I was researching, the numbers for online dating has gone up. And it's skyrocketing because of COVID, and everybody is now starting to date online, and people are reaching out and doing things, even married people, even people that are in relationships, because they have access to social media and online dating, they are coming together more often than not. And those numbers, as I remember researching, of all of the numbers, it's over 40 million people that's on dating sites, okay? And the research shows that it's more men on dating sites than women. And the reasons they are on the dating site varies. Some is just entertainment, some is to find love, some is to pass time, but whatever the case may be, in doing that, there's still dangers. When you look up the research, it also tells you how people carry out or carry on with online dating and these social media sites. And sometimes one that I read that I didn't know, they even keep track or record of or did surveys on how many people use protection when they first meet these people and have sex on the first date. And so it's an alarming number. So I like to challenge people to learn and to read. So I'm going to let you guys go and check out the research and check my numbers so you can see that I'm correct. And what was also interesting is in 2019, of the online dating statistics, it showed that at least 100 murders occur by people meeting people online or getting scammed or catfished. And so that's why I asked Diana to come and share with us her story about her daughter who was basically catfished, you can say. And it was a very difficult ordeal. And so at this moment, I'm going to be quiet and let Diana introduce herself again and share with us her story. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask questions. I might intervene and chime in because I was right there with him all the way up through court until they announced that the guy was guilty. So it's very, very, I guess, close to me for lack of a better word. So Diana.
Hello, everyone. I am Diana Schalow, and I am the mother of 4. I have an older son, Anthony, who is now 32. I have Angela was my daughter, who was 24 when we lost her. She would now be 29. Then we have a younger daughter who is now 23, and we have a son who is now 12. It was just like any other day of the week that on April 19th, Angela was home. She lived with us. She had just graduated from medical assisting school, and her goal next was to go to nursing school. And she was working. She had just started dating, gone on online app, starting about April 1st, right around there. She was working and decided it was time to start dating again, take a little break. And she was getting ready to go out on a date and going out for the night, and she would do that quite often and, you know, let us know, hey, you know, he was good, he was a gentleman, but there was no chemistry, so she would keep doing that. So with this one, she didn't really say a whole lot about him. She had started speaking to him on April 17th on Plenty of Fish. 2 days later, she agreed to meet up with him, and she never came home. One woman in my eyes, and I just said, okay, good night. And she said, I'll be home tomorrow, I promise. I love you. That was the last text message I ever got from her. So the next morning, I reached out to her and just said, hey, have a good day. I came home from work that night, didn't hear from her. No one came home. Reached out again, nothing on the phone, couldn't reach her. Then I got worried. We had a friend who worked for the correctional department for Maricopa County. I called him and asked him, hey, what do you think I should do? He said, well, call the jails and call the hospitals. So I did that. I started calling all the jails and all the hospitals. And in the meantime, she'd gotten a brand new cell phone. So her old cell phone that was cracked and broken, and it was an iPhone, our 7-year-old knew all her passwords. Ryan. 7 years old. That's how close the two of them were. Is that she didn't share her passwords with us, but my son knew them all, her little brother. So I just thank God that she did that, because he was able to get into her phone. We then started seeing text messages and pictures of this guy that she met up with. Of course, he didn't tell her the real name. So again, I'm calling all the hospitals and everything, and I reach one lady and she says, well, you got at the jails, and she goes, well, you got to be glad she's not here. And I go, no, actually, I wish she was, because we can't find her. So that day came and went. The next morning, I called her work right away, and they said, no, she's been a no-call, no-show for 2 days. So then I hung up, called the police in the city of Maricopa. They came over, they took a report, and he was going to get it out right away. He was an exceptional officer. He knew what to do. He went back. We have friends in the Chandler PD as well. He called them. They were going to help. They did help the city of Maricopa, but unfortunately, city of Maricopa just sat on it. They felt that she was an adult and just went off for some love affair. And that was not the case, obviously. No. Otherwise, she'd still be here with us. Mm-hmm. So then the hunt began. We gave the city of Maricopa all of the pictures, mm-hmm. all of the text messages. Now, mind you, he didn't tell her his real name. Mm-hmm. He dressed in army fatigues, saying that he was in the military.
That it was his brother.
Yep. He always wore a hat. Mm-hmm. He said that he was very close to God and his mother. And he kept feeding her with everything she wanted to hear. She was looking for the fairy tale. Mm-hmm. And when we found out that he was never in the military, he was married, living with a girlfriend, He actually had another girlfriend as well that 2 of them thought they were pregnant at the same time. Still don't know whether or not the other girl, he got her pregnant. We don't know and don't really care, but that was mentioned. But the one girl that he was living with, the girlfriend, she did have a miscarriage. She did have a miscarriage. So, however, these are the pictures that we had. We didn't have a real name, so we kept asking the police department, please run photo recognition. Please run photo recognition. That's all we prayed for, was that running photo recognition. In the meantime, we kept just searching and went back and forth to the whole area that she last pinged on her phone, because we had that information as well from clouding it. We could do all these things, but the police weren't doing anything.
And it was an iPhone, right?
It was an iPhone.
Okay.
Yes, so what we did was my daughter-in-law, we were taking her cell phone and making it basically Angela's new phone so that we could see everything. And that's how we were able to track down all this stuff as well. So nothing kept coming about, nothing. We kept going to the police. They finally told us that we were harassing them, and they were just doing everything they could. Well, come to find out that all the information the city of Chandler gave them, they never did anything with it. So we reached out through a friend of a friend and found an attorney, and we hired an attorney, and he sent the city of Maricopa a letter of representation. And ironically, they started doing things, and they finally did photo recognition 3 weeks after she was missing. In the meantime, if you have children, I'm sure you could only imagine if your baby doesn't come home for 3 weeks, how you must feel inside.
Can you share a little bit of how you were feeling or what you were going through?
Desperation. You don't sleep, you don't eat, you eat because you have to nourish your body, but you don't want to. Just crying yourself to sleep every night, praying and praying and praying that somehow she finds her way home. Because at that point, we didn't know if she was just kidnapped, if she was taken for some type of sex trafficking. We just didn't know. There were actually some psychics who reached out to us, never charging us, and would say, look here, look there, look here, look there, and none of it was coming to pass. But 3 weeks later, they did ID him. They then started interviewing him. Now, here's an irony. He already had a warrant out for his arrest from skipping probation from another incident.
And then he decides that he turned himself in so that it would look like he had nothing to do with Angela's disappearance.
Right.
So if I turn myself in on this probation, then of course I couldn't have done it because I'm already in jail.
Right.
So, but it didn't pan out that way. He did a lot of stuff that incriminated himself after the fact.
Right. The first thing he asked Maricopa PD when they finally first interviewed him was, how did you find me? So, in the meantime, they found him, they interviewed him. He kept making phone calls, like she said, incriminating himself. He told his wife that lived down in Tucson that he really, I'll use very nice language, he really messed up this time.
Oh, you don't have to. You don't have to use nice language.
Well, he said he really effed up this time, only he used the full verbiage. And he told that to his wife, that he just lost it and he blew it this time.
And now this is the wife. Did he have a kid by her?
He did not have children by her, but she had 2 children.
Okay, and this is his wife in another location, but he's living in Phoenix with another female.
Right. And she was pregnant. So the day that Angela went and met him, we'll kind of go backwards, he did murder her. That was confirmed that he murdered her on April 19th.
The same night.
The same night. Now, in reading text messages, he was only after one thing, and one thing only, and that was sex. Angela, although I'm sure she was not a pure saint, I know she wasn't. That was not her. She was not trying to just do a hookup that night. She really wanted to get to know him. Being in the military was very important to her. My father was a Marine, and she just thought that was such an outstanding thing to be in the military. And the fact that he was close to God and his mother, that were things that family meant a lot to him, according to him. And that was she was all about family. She was the kindest, sweetest, thoughtful soul. This is how I start crying. It's because not her story, but because of what we miss. She may not have had any money to her name, but she figured out how to give you the most thoughtful gift for Christmas. So those are the things that are hard. But in going back to the story, she said no to him. She would not have sex with him, and I'm sure that he then fought her and possibly raped her. I can't be sure of that, although there is blood going from the bedroom into the kitchen, going towards the kitchen. It's all up against the like a
door jamb.
Yeah, door jamb, but what's the cabinetry called? Like a linen closet.
Yeah.
All across there, and then most of her blood.
Table.
Yeah, most of her blood is in the kitchen or the dining area. I'm sure we don't know how she was killed, because he decided that once he killed her, he wrapped her in a blanket, he threw her in the back of her car, and he drove that car all the way to Tonopah.
About an hour?
Oh, it's about
from Phoenix.
It's almost 2 hours
from Phoenix.
Yeah, it's almost 2 hours from Phoenix. It's almost as far as you can go to Maricopa County.
Okay.
Just shortly after that, Maricopa County ends. But by God's blessing, Maricopa County is where he was. And so then we're looking at 5 weeks later, 5 weeks, mind you. Now, they've identified him. They've questioned him. They've gotten the evidence to charge him, but they can't find Angela. They don't know what he's done. So they're pretty sure he's the one that did something to her, but don't have a body to go to.
Right.
So the city of Maricopa kept putting pressure on the girlfriend, saying, you better tell us what you know, or you're going to be held responsible as well. Well, she didn't really know anything other than before he went to go turn himself in to jail on the probation, he took her all the way out to Tonopah. Hiking. Who goes to Tonopah hiking? To make sure that the car was there. He tells her he's going to go to the bathroom. He finds a car that's all burnt out. Ironically, her car, that's all burnt out. He lit it on fire, and it blazed so hot it just melted absolutely everything. Everything.
The car was white.
Yeah. And it rainbowed that it was just metal. You couldn't even tell what color the car was.
Right.
It was just like a rainbow. So she thought that was really weird and said, well, don't touch anything. And he said, no, it's just really weird. Well, the irony to that is she has no sense of smell. So she couldn't tell that there was an odor coming from nearby. So lo and behold, they go back. She does tell the police about the car. She drives Maricopa PD. Well, she doesn't drive, but she leads Maricopa PD to where the car is. And as soon as they find the car, there is an officer that does smell a decaying body. And so he goes looking around the area, and he comes upon a shallow grave. And that's where he buried her. He spent all that time burying her in a shallow grave.
And burning the car.
So then they were able to charge him with murder and come and tell us
that
she was gone. And I relive this every single day of my life now. Every single day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about her. Some days are easier than others, but through the whole trial, he kept saying he was innocent. Through the whole trial, he kept saying that
it was the girlfriend.
It wasn't me, it was the girlfriend. That he helped fold her up into a pink suitcase and took her out. I'd like to know how you do that one with a dead body.
And her size.
And her size. Well, she was 5'4", so you know, how do you do that into a pink suitcase? So there were all these things that we had to endure. Mind you, we went 2 years in court before he got tried. So it was a long process, and actually we were quite blessed and lucky that we got it that quickly. But it was 3.5, almost 4 weeks of a trial, and
he sat there all smug and all like, so what? And I just don't know for the life of me how he could sit there emotionless when they were showing these pictures. And so Diana and the family were not able to see the photos, so I actually went down with you guys, and the only photo that was recognizable of Angela was a small little portion of skin on her back of Eeyore, which is a tattoo, in Tigger, which was a tattoo she actually had gotten for her mother. And so you were not able to recognize anything else on her body but that little piece. And that's how they identified her, by that little piece of tattoo that was reserved.
It mummified.
Yep, her body.
That's the only part of her body that I've seen that they would allow us to see as well, was the tattoo of her. And it's just, I don't think you guys, as I was telling the prosecutor, that's not something I wanted you guys to see and remember her. Yeah. It's just, I'd rather you remember your daughter the last time you saw her than to see those pictures. Yeah. But that still is, it's heartwarming that I got to see that. For me, because it was my gift, and it really looked like the same tattoo. The only thing it was different was it looked like it was on darker skin than her pale white skin. So, but he, his sentence was life without possibility of parole. So he has appealed that twice and he's lost. But the reason I share her story, the reason I think it is so important, not for you to feel sorry for me or say I'm sorry, because that's just a natural thing that we say when someone's lost someone. It's truly heartbreaking, and you do lose a piece of you. But she was catfished on this site. He did not tell her who he truly was, and because she was such a trusting person, as many of us are, that's the danger. Because she should have done more due diligence before she met him. But online dating, how can you? You really can't vet a person behind a computer. You can't, like, I can tell you whatever I want you to know, but until I meet you and then start picking your story apart, anybody can type up anything. Yeah, and there's a lot of predators out there. A lot of predators, and a lot of what they call the dark web, and they're taking kids, they're doing sex trades, they're harming these kids, taking them for money, and it's boys and girls. It's boys and girls. It's boys and girls. Absolutely, it's not just girls, and it's not just this particular guy just was a womanizer. That's obvious, just a womanizer. He had no true feelings. And you go back, he was never in the military. He was not close to God. He was not, obviously. He was not close to his mother. Matter of fact, he had busted his mother's nose at one point and beat his own mother up. And these are things that we found out after the fact. So if Angela had just maybe taken more time instead of thinking, oh my God, this might be the one, she might still be here today. I don't know. Was it destiny? I hope not. I hope that wasn't her destiny to die that way. Because that's the thing that haunts me as a mom, is the fact that I could not protect her and the horrific way that she ended up dying. And she did end up getting a beautiful funeral, because luckily he did not burn her body. So we did have her, although after 5 weeks in the desert with the heat and the rain and the monsoons, you could imagine how it was. And so we did have to cremate her, but we put her in a beautiful pod. I call my pod, the pod people, color the pod, because it had all these seashells on the top and it was biodegradable. And in October of 2017, 18, 19. Sorry, I had to think.
19.
Well, not 2020, October of 19, 2019. We were blessed and we went to Oahu. Hawaii was one of her favorite places to visit. We had gone there as a family and she fell in love, and sea turtles were part of her passion. That was going to be her next tattoo. And so we took her and we put her with the sea turtles under the sea in Hawaii. And it is very heartwarming. Yep, and she was Ariel. That was her princess. So I have a room that's dedicated to her and Ryan. Sorry, he's got a lot of his things in it too. But it was her bedroom at the house, and I've decorated it as she would have wanted it. So I have a lot of Ariels that people have given me, and Ariel signs that people have given me, and ladybugs that people have given me, and her special things that were something that she would have grown old with are in that room. And so that's her. But I think the biggest thing is he would not really tell her his real name. That should have been a clue to her, clue to anybody. And just more proof. You know, she kept saying in text messages, how come you're not smiling? How come you won't take your hats off? He would not give her a picture with his hats off. He would not give her a picture of her, you know, of him smiling. Those to me would have been a clue. But to Angela, I don't know. She just
give people a chance.
Yeah, she just trusted people too much. So again, when I talk to people about online dating, for me, it's I know a lot of success stories.
I do too.
I know so many people who are very happily married and have been, and went online and found their soulmate. But for Angela, that was not it. She, you know, when the media interviewed Ryan at 7 years old, why do you think this happened? He said, because the devil went inside him and made him do it. And that was the perspective of a 7-year-old.
And I kind of agree with him, because one of the things that I'm hung up on every time I think about it is, how do you know a family is hurting, begging, and pleading for their child for 5 weeks, 5 whole weeks, and in your mind, you trying to save yourself and do something else like you had nothing to do with it, when before you turned yourself in to the police, you were watching the news just like all of us were.
Oh yeah, I was on many times. So I don't know if anybody who follows.
Yeah, I don't get it. And I just knew when it turned out that he was an African American, I was like, oh God, she's not going to want to deal with me. She's not going to remember
that
I called you and asked you to that. And she was like, nope, they don't have anything to do with it.
No, it has nothing to do with it. He was just a horrible, horrible, horrible man that did this to my daughter. We, you know, we have both our daughters are in biracial relationships, and that's all I can say. I mean, actually my son too. You know, my son is in a biracial relationship as well. So that has nothing to do with any of this.
That was good on my part, because from where I'm from, you kind of, you know, can't trust everybody. I'm from Alabama, you know, and so it's like, okay, if one person did it, I mean, everybody did it. So I was just grateful that you know, allowed me to help and do the best I could. It was a lot of long nights. Living room.
Lots of tears.
Lots
of crying.
Yeah.
There's still lots of crying. It will never, again, it was in April of 2016, so we're coming up on 5 years, and like I said, it never goes away.
Right.
My daughter and daughter-in-law still suffer. We all still suffer, but girls, I think, if there's a lot of girls out there listening, women out there listening, you can relate to our emotional state versus men. So dad and brothers handle it pretty well. Again, Ryan was 7 years old. It's come a long ways, you know.
Mhm.
He misses her.
Yeah.
He's a lot like her. They were like really, really close siblings.
Mhm.
And
And remember when I asked him if he could be anything in the world, what would he be?
Mhm.
And he told me a police officer.
That's still
So
true
that
today.
And I bought him the little
Yep,
police
I
outfit.
kept it. I still have it.
You still have
I
that?
still have it.
Oh,
5 years
wow.
later, we still have the
The
policeman
little
outfit.
yeah. And
Yep.
so he said if he was a police, he would have been able to protect his sister.
Even watching the news and seeing what happened
Yeah.
during 2020, he is still adamant. If you ask him what he's going to be,
police officer.
he's going to be either an NBA player
Oh my goodness.
or NFL player, or if that doesn't work out, he's going to be a police officer.
Okay.
But the first thing he knows he has to do is go to college
Mhm.
and get a criminal science degree.
Is he still dancing?
He does TikTok, all the lovely
Oh, my
TikTok
goodness.
dances. He
Oh.
knows them all. Knows all the TikTok dances.
Oh,
So,
wow.
but he misses. We all miss her immensely, as you can imagine. It just doesn't ever stop.
You have questions?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions that you want to ask me
I'd be
or
happy to answer
Diana,
anything.
she said she'll be happy to answer.
And Instagram too. You have
Okay.
questions and stuff.
All right.
Okay.
So, and all you guys out there on Instagram, I am, we got your questions too. Tia is multitasking, so we'll try to get as many questions in as possible. So I'm going to grab something really quick to show Diana. And as I do that, if those questions are for her, Tia, then feel free to, oh, thank you.
What are,
Feel
the,
free. Go
what
ahead.
are the things you do to celebrate her?
We celebrate her birthday every year, of course. It's never stopped. We light candles. We lit off balloons. It's either Little Mermaid or Ladybugs. We kind of go back and forth. Or just tropical. We do a lot of tropical. But we always celebrate her. One thing I do, I don't want to cry.
I got tissue for you.
One thing I do, because she gave such thoughtful gifts every Christmas, is every Christmas I try to come up with something that I give the kids and Dad from Angela. So this year it was a simple little Precious Moments angel, and it was an ornament, but I gave that to all the kids. The year before, because we had gone to Hawaii, it was the picture of all of us on the boat with her pod before we threw it overboard, and we were given all the coordinates on a beautiful printout. And so I printed out the coordinates to everybody with the picture and framed it for everybody. And those are the kind of things I do for Angela at Christmas time for everyone.
Oh, that's beautiful. I think we all should get like little aerials with her face on it, because I want one.
Well,
I love aerials.
Really special.
Oh, and they got tattoos. They
We
got
all have
the
matching
whole
tattoos
thing.
and
Matches,
turtles.
Tattoos.
Yeah,
and
even
see-through.
Ryan has the little fake ones
Ah.
that match. So,
I love it, love it,
Yeah.
love it.
Any more questions?
That was actually on Instagram, so
Okay.
I'm going back to Facebook. I'm trying.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys, if we haven't gotten to your question, if you care to ask it again or whatever, and while you're doing that, I wanted to ask Diana if she remember giving me this, which is one of Angela's nightgowns.
Mm.
yep. She loves Tinkerbell.
Aw.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I didn't want to make you cry.
One of the greatest gifts I've received since Angela passed away
Mm-hmm.
was where I was working, we had Secret Santas. And the gal that actually happened to get me knew my sister-in-law. So they finagled with my husband to get an article of clothing
Mm-hmm.
that was Angela's, and it was a t-shirt that she wore since she was 3 or 4 years old, that she just wore up until adulthood to bed, and she made it into a pillow.
Oh.
And it had a very special saying on it, so that was one thing that
Mm-hmm.
was very special that I've received. But this is, yeah.
Yeah, and the reason behind that nightgown is, most people know that I have a sixth sense and I can feel things. I feel energy, and so I would be at my desk working, and my TV would just pop on, or I would be in the kitchen and my microwave just come on, and so I'm thinking, okay, who are you and what do you want? So I knew it was something or someone, I just didn't know for sure who. But when she called and told me that they were sitting at their dinner table and all of a sudden nobody touched the remote, nobody touched anything, and their television came on, that let me know who it was trying to get my attention. And so she gave me that just in case Angela was trying to reach out to me or talk to me or whatever the case may be. She felt that if I had something that belonged to her, it would kind of help usher in whatever it was she was trying to get across to me. And so what it was, I feel, is just be strong and be there for a family, which I did my best to do. And I just keep
we wouldn't have made it through without you.
Oh. I'm glad. So because of that incident, it brought us close. It's more like when she came in, I told Tia, oh, Tia, that's Diana. She's family. So she's been here, like I said, several times. And, you know, being the life coach of their entire family during that time, it was difficult. It was nights I couldn't sleep. It was nights that I was angry. The more things that I found out about, I would cry. I would, you know, just be up all night trying to help them figure things out, or what can I say to them to make it better or make them feel okay. And sometimes I had to step back and I had to reevaluate myself and my emotions and feelings, because I started to feel so much for them that I felt like I wasn't helping because I was just as sad as they were. So, you know, I had to check myself, and, you know, it just was a big ordeal, and we made it through. She made it through.
And
it's doing good.
It's irony because I'm the spokesperson of the family. They have me do everything. So we had to read our victim statements, of course, before sentencing, and I was the one that read everybody's, and he kept standing there. He almost got thrown out of the courtroom because he kept interrupting me and saying, oh, it wasn't me, and just being belligerent, and I just kept staring back at him with, you can imagine, piercing eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And I finally got through all of them, but it's difficult.
It's very
difficult to get through. But in all my years, of course, I've never gone through anything like this, but I don't think you really hear too much about how you can form relationships with people. Not just Dr. Marilyn, but we have friendships now with our attorney that'll be lifelong. He's a lifelong friend, and his family have become lifelong friends. When we finished everything and got the guilty verdict and he was sentenced, we had a celebration party. We ended up going through 2 prosecutors. Actually, we had 3 prosecutors along the way. One retired in the middle of everything and gave us these other 2 young gentlemen who took over, which were kind of like a godsend. They were the ones that put all the pieces together and got the guilty verdict. But Greg was the one who got the first-degree murder charges. So it was all blended. It was God's divine intervention. But we had a victim's advocate that was there the whole step of the way as well. Every single one of them but one, because he was on vacation. But they all came to our home to celebrate the verdict and the sentencing. That just, to me, was very, very overwhelming as a family. That they all took time out of their personal lives to come and celebrate with us, because they didn't have to do that. So it was very meaningful.
It was difficult. That whole, it seemed like it was just dragging.
Eternity.
Yeah. Now when you look back at it seemed like it
A blink of
went
an
so
eye.
fast, but it was agony. It
Were
really
there other
was.
questions?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone
like-
just put prayers up and hearts and bless your heart,
Thank you,
Diana.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, we just want to bring awareness. Make sure that you share with other people
Yes.
that they just really have to do their due diligence. When I say that, just don't go 2 days after meeting someone. Number one. Number two, make sure you know their real name. Do an investigative background. There's plenty of sites that you can go to check out people that sometimes you do have to pay for them, sometimes you don't. But one thing that you can do is type in people's names and Google them and find out if they have a criminal record.
Yes.
So the most important thing is to make sure you have their real name.
I tell people where I'm going. Okay, this is such and such, and this is if I'm going on a date or any. Follow me. I need you to be here at the restaurant over in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm not going to meet someone for the first time by myself, and they're not coming to my house.
Yeah.
I'm not going to theirs.
No.
And call me scary if you want to, but I like living. So I'm going to let people know where I'm going.
Yep. I
That's
think
a
the
lot.
strangest thing about this entire thing with Angela is that every time she told us where she was going and what
But
she
that
was doing,
time.
but this time.
Mhm.
That to me is the most
Yep.
strange and bizarre occurrence.
Mhm.
Do I think our Heavenly Father wanted her to die in this horrific way? I don't believe that, but I also believe in divine effect, and I just don't know why this time with this one that she did this.
And a lot of times too, a lot of people on those sites do befriend you. No, I'm just behind the scenes.
Okay.
But just so
See
you
you
can kind
behind
of
the
answer,
scenes.
yeah. They befriend you. I have a couple of friends and girlfriends, and me doing hair in a salon. I have a lot of women that come in my chair and say, hey, I'm on a dating site. Hey, I'm doing this. And it's a lot of women who feel like, I don't want no one in my business. I don't want people to know that I'm on this dating site.
Right.
I don't want to know. So you got this guy on your phone, you've been texting, and he's putting all this beautiful, oh, you're beautiful. Oh, send me another picture. Oh my gosh, I want to be, and this is who I am. I believe in God. Manipulating. And and it's out there literally right now,
I've done this a lot.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I was with several other women who we were doing a lot of speaking on just internet safety and as a whole, and online dating would come up, and I would have moms in the audience who were on dating sites on their phone, and they would delete them after they heard my story. I'm not saying you have to delete them because it's the way of meeting people now, which is kind of scary. But again, don't believe Prince Charming. He may turn out to be the devil in disguise.
I met my husband online.
Yeah, but
So,
you gotta follow your gut too sometimes.
Yeah.
And me, because I'm a weirdo, I can feel stuff. If I feel like something not right, I'm like, Chester, I don't know. She'd be like, if you feel like that, don't even go.
Don't even go.
Don't even, so
Your whole gut feeling.
If you have
any gut feeling, or if it's something you gotta sneak around and do, just don't do it.
Yeah, because you get the ones that be on the phone, and especially that are a little bit older too, a little bit wiser, where they can manipulate the brain. Like, this is something grown and sexy. So, you don't have to tell nobody. I mean, you're grown. Aren't you grown? Aren't you older? So why would you have to tell somebody whatever? But you have to be strong enough to say, well, I don't know you.
Right.
Okay, so me and my girlfriends is about to meet you, or can you meet me here because this is where I need to meet up with you. We need to be around a certain crowd.
Right.
There should never be you meeting in a segregated, like a section,
never,
like where there's no people or no one's
and if
around.
you're wondering where the girlfriend was during this time, I guess we didn't even say that. He did all his fooling around at night because she worked a graveyard. So she would go in, and she actually worked at a correctional facility. So she worked at a jail.
Right.
So she would go in at the night shift, and then she'd come home around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning.
And the story that he tried to sell was that she came home from work and caught them in the act, and they had a fight, and the girlfriend did it.
Yeah,
But the
grabbed
girlfriend
the knife
about
and
this
stabbed
tall.
her multiple times.
Yeah, the girlfriend this tall, Angela about this tall, and the girlfriend's much smaller than Angela. So it's like, okay, how you gonna?
So does
say
she know
that?
anything
Okay.
about her?
And ironically, I say that word, but why wouldn't he have called the police?
Right.
Why not just call the police?
Mm-hmm.
They were fighting, and
If
one
her handprints are on the knife, and She stabbed her 3 or 4 times and killed her. She's bleeding out. Wouldn't you have called the police?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, that's right. I have a warrant out for my arrest.
So I can't. So I'm just going to help her get rid of
Someone's going to help her get rid of the body?
Get rid of the
Yeah,
body.
no. The most
Boy, bye.
the most outrageous thing that they did was bring in a phone expert who had worked for the federal government.
Okay.
And he laid it all out on the line and showed
God.
all the cell towers, where they pinned, where they
He said he'd
where
never been to Tonopah before.
Yeah.
I don't know where that is. You went out there, buried the body, then you're going to go back hiking to make sure nobody disturbed the body before you turn yourself in.
It was all laid out.
But you've never been there.
And then right in the middle of the night, he kept trying to change his phone number. In the middle of the night, he kept trying to change his phone number according to all the phone calls that he had made.
But when that prosecutor got up there and put that bulletin board up and said, oh no, your phone pinged from here in Tonopah at this time, and you was out there this long, and this, I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. They don't call me another lie.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. The trial was crazy. He tried everything he could possibly try to pin it on somebody else, to say he didn't have anything to do with it, or that he was trying to help his girlfriend dispose of the body.
I know the girlfriend was just like, because now you're trying to mess up
Oh,
another
she
woman's
was,
life.
Well, of course, once by the time he got to trial, and she was in trial with us as on the prosecution side.
She turned prosecution.
Yeah, it was, she had wanted nothing to do with him, and she was in the military. She had been in the military, and she would be asked questions, and she would say, no, sir, or no, you know, she would just answer. Well, they tried to come after her with a couple questions, and she said absolutely not.
No.
Like, she got defiant in her answer and gave it as a military answer.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when they kept pushing her button, her military training turned back in and kicked in, and she would definitely be saying, you know, no, sir, that is not what happened.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting, too.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And it's just like to sit there and just be that close to somebody that evil, and like you just staring. I was in the back of him, but it was like I was in his peripheral, so he looked back, and the first day I went, he didn't know who I was, so when he did like this, and he did a double take, so I got a full frontal of his face, and it was like my eyes, if I could have seared holes in him with my eyes, it feels like I was looking at him just that hard with so much anger that my eyes could have pierced him.
And the beauty of all that is we have numerous colors of the rainbow in the audience on the prosecution side. So it wasn't just Dr. Maryland, but I don't think he was expecting, you know, this Caucasian family to have all the support from all these different Hispanic and everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we was a rainbow in that thing. It was cultural. It was diverse. I don't know. I've never been that close to a person that I know. Well, I have known people to take someone's life, but not someone that close to me. So to know that, it was just a different feeling, and it's like my heart was breaking for them. And certain things that they would say, or they would ask, or they would show, it was like, this is just so not good. And the waiting. That it was terrible.
I think that's the waiting.
The wait, hey, at the end of the wait, we got what we wanted. And you're okay with it, or do you want something else?
No, I'm blessed. We were asked if we wanted the death penalty, and as a family, we collectively said absolutely not. And I know that means that your tax dollars and my tax dollars are going to pay for the rest of his life. But in death row, you get so many benefits because you're on death row. They do keep you segregated. However, he's at the lowest of the low, being in life without possibility of parole, because he is segregated. He is allowed, and he's also considered high risk. So he's allowed 1 hour a day out in sunshine. That is required by law. He gets 1 cent per hour for working. And his job is cleaning latrines and floors. So bathrooms and floors and showers. That's his job. That's what he gets to do over the last, well, now it's been the last, he's been in there 3 years then? The trial was 2018.
But he was already in when he turned
Yeah,
himself in.
yeah, but he wasn't in jail.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
you
prison.
said
He wasn't in prison.
Okay.
So 2018 is when we got the conviction.
Mm-hmm.
That was the trial.
I'm going to ask you a hard question before we wrap up. Do you ever think you'll be able to forgive him?
Not yet. Ever? Maybe. Because that's how God would want it, but not yet. I have too much
That's fair enough.
hurt and anger and pain to forgive him at this time in my life.
That's fair enough. But we're going to work on it. I'm not going to push you.
I know it is God's way to forgive.
Mm-hmm. But it's also for you. It's healing.
Yes.
And that thing that's stuck right here, that yucky
The
feeling,
broken heart that's sitting right there.
Yucky feeling that's right
The
there.
broken heart that's sitting right there.
Uh-huh. And no pressure, like I say, I never pressure people, but I feel like he don't deserve to hurt you more or longer.
No.
And as long as you're holding
Well,
on
there's
to that
a lot of things that have
unforgiveness.
happened in my life that I have forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
You never forget.
Exactly.
You never forget. So
Mhm.
forgiveness is still being worked on because there is still, as I said, there's still so much pain
I
and
know.
anger and
I know.
just disbelief sometimes still.
Mm-hmm.
I still go in her room and just go, come home. And yet she is home. She's come to me many times in my dreams, and I have many hugs that she's given me and talked to me, and they are just as real as if she is standing there in real life.
Trust me.
So she's there.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know.
Well, I feel good knowing that you said not yet instead of no.
Oh yeah,
That just
it's
means,
a not yet.
it's a process.
It is definitely
it's
a
different
process
for everybody, but to know that you're open to it possibly happening.
I think you have to be
It's
able to
good.
get to a point of forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like I said, there's just
When
still
you're ready.
so much pain and hurt
Absolutely.
and anger
Oh, I know.
that it's a process. Because like I said, there's others that I have forgiven in my life,
Mm-hmm.
but you never forget.
Never forget.
Nor
And
should
then,
you.
and then when you do think about it or think about him, the magnitude of that emotion is not as strong
No.
once you forgive him.
Mm-hmm.
You think about it, but then it's like, okay, I felt that, but it's gone.
I think
Opposed
more.
to thinking and then holding on and it lasting longer.
I think it would be for me, I can't speak for the other family members, but for me,
Mm-hmm.
it would be easier to forgive him if he was willing to admit that he did it.
Exactly.
And yet I have no intentions on contacting him, so.
And you know what? You just say it out loud and mean it genuinely from your heart, and you release it.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell him anything.
No, I don't mean that. I would not let him know.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
But
Are those things, as far as healing, and this is a question to you too, as far as healing and going through something like this, is it something that you have to find out within the other person who did the incident? So pretty much, in order for her to heal, is it something that she has to find out more in depth about him? Like, who is his mother? Who's his father? Why would you feel like this is okay?
No, for me,
it's nothing that a person can tell you about killing your child or a mom or anything. It's nothing they are going to be able to tell you to justify that hurt and that feeling.
Yeah.
He could have come from the roughest household. He could have been, and we do know now that he didn't have a father figure. I'm sorry, there's millions and millions and millions of Americans out there who do not have a father figure, who have a rough upbringing, and they decide how they're going to live their life. And they're going to either rise above, or they're going to be, or maybe they're going to allow the devil to come inside them too and be an evil person.
Right.
Everybody have free will.
Yes.
Okay? And we were born to make choices, unique choices of our own. So it really bothers me when people that do things that's wrong or beyond wrong, and then they want to blame a parent or they want to blame somebody else. But while you're doing that, you're in control. Your mom or your dad is not in control. You are in control. So at the moment you're in control, you have the right, the obligation, and the opportunity to make the right decision. If you fail at that, that is on you. When you go before God, He's not going to, or whoever your divine person is, He's not going to ask you when you killed this person, what was your mama doing? Or what was your mama thinking? It's you. He want to know what you were thinking, what you were doing, what made you think that it was right. So it's certain things, yes, but after a certain age, I feel like people should be responsible for their own actions. And if they feel at a certain age that they're still blaming other people, it's time for them to sit down and reevaluate their life. So, no. People are responsible. Evil people do evil things because they want to. Not because their mom and daddy made them. Not because their mom and daddy were not there. Not because they are a victim of the street. If we can take a full breath in, when you breathe in, that's your opportunity to think about what you're getting ready to do. Whether you're mad, whether you're not mad. If somebody pissed you off, and I was talking to my sister Melinda about this last night, when you stop and your body tells you you're getting upset, you're getting mad, or you're getting ready to do something wrong, and you just pause and you take a deep breath, on that inhale in, you're thinking, because you got to think to inhale. So that breaks that thing right there to just, so as I'm breathing in, I'm changing my mind about what I'm thinking about doing to somebody. And then I'm in control.
Right.
There's nothing you could say, there's nothing you could do, because you can't move me. And I think that's very important for people to get to the place of self-awareness that they know these things about themselves. We are so busy reacting that we're not thinking. We just react. Somebody say something, somebody do something, we just react. We see something we want, we go for it. If it don't go our way, we're going to make it go our way. We don't have control over anything, if you think about it. And what I mean by not having control, we are all here, living beings, living vessels. Okay, but God gives us the right to make choices. And so whether Diana decide to forgive him or not, it ain't got nothing to do with his mama. Boy, bye.
Yep.
He did it.
Yeah. And to me, his past has nothing to do with the day he took my daughter's life.
Exactly. So no, there's nothing on, and when you forgive, that's how you gotta look at it. I am forgiving this person for his actions and what he did because he wanted to do it. Can I forgive somebody that's that evil? And that would take.
That's the hard part.
That's the hard part.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
To forgive the devil is the hard part.
Yeah.
Right. How do you forgive the devil? That's my question.
You know what I tell them? Say the devil is just like anybody else. Boy, bye. My God is bigger.
Yes, my God is bigger.
Okay, my God is bigger. I don't have to forgive the devil. I just turn it over to God and loose him over to him. Because, I mean, I've been through a lot myself. But if I hold on to it and I keep every day reliving it in a negative sense, instead of letting all that stuff that has happened to me fuel me to greater, then what would I be? What would I do? Other than being blue in a funk every day, because I don't like to use the word depressed.
Right.
And I'm not giving anybody that kind of control over me.
And that's, people ask me, how come you're not curled up in a ball?
Exactly.
What good would that do? What good would that do? I need to be Angela's messenger.
Exactly.
I need to get out and spread the word about Angela. I try as often as I can, or tell and talk about her as much as I can. Is it always through social media? No. But if I tell enough people what happened to her in her story, maybe one more dating app will be deleted. Or one more person will be saved. You know, one more person who might have gone on that negative date that could have taken their life will be home.
It's certainly a lot of work to be done, but I think the work has to do with people themselves, because people are evil, and people, they just do things without thinking, and most of the time it's for self-gratification or immediate gratification. And even though it's not fair, and even though you've been a victim of some unfair things, I have, and I'm sure you have, Tia, I have learned over the years to just ask, okay, why not me? What makes me so special that bad things can't happen to me, or unfair things can't happen to me? And when I look at it that way, that helps me justify that, okay, I'm normal, because something happened to her. Something happened to her. It's a normal occurrence of life. It's not just me. Things happen to people. And when it happens, we have to learn how to embrace it. Like I always say, embrace it, feel it. Don't try to act like you don't feel it or it's not there. Feel it, embrace it, let it go. And that's the part that we don't know how to do, is to let things go and move past it. And that's what I like to help people with. It's a struggle, and sometimes I have to, pray about it myself, but I know it's doable. And so that's where I leave it at. Do you have anything else you want to share before we close out? Since Ryan got to go to school tomorrow.
Thank goodness we're blessed that we have in school sessions right now.
Yes.
Just everybody pass it along, share the word, because you might save somebody else and not even realize you are.
Well, I want to thank you so much for doing this for me.
Thank you.
And I love you. And I will always be here anytime you need me for anything.
Yep.
And
Always are.
You
Always are.
And I got you a little something
Oh,
for being our guest.
thank you.
You are very
What a surprise.
It
How fun.
But
is fun.
Now, the color I was going to wear was going to be that color because I was, trying to color coordinate. But then I had to send out a shot to my girl tomorrow. So
That is beautiful. Thank you so
are very
much.
welcome. That's right, Sugar Plum.
Thank you.
All right.
Much
And for all of
appreciated.
you guys that tuned in, thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
everybody.
We appreciate it, and we hope you got something from this. And we will see you guys soon. Bye.